Every so often, Apex Legends releases a new legend that brings with them a brand new playstyle that shifts the way Apex as a whole is played. Whether it be Valkyrie's ultimate, Seer's scanning knowledge, or Catalyst's defensive prowess, each one has left their mark on Apex and changed the way it's played at the highest level. With the recent release of Season 19, a brand new legend has come into play. With a unique and powerful kit, she is poised to have a major impact in the competitive scene. Hi, I'm MooreOver, and I am here to help break down the world of competitive Apex. Today, we're going to discuss what it takes for a legend to break into the competitive scene, and find out if the latest addition to Apex has the chance to completely change the meta as we know it. Join me as we discuss Conduit. Before we begin, this video will be discussing legends and playstyles specific to the world of competitive Apex. While some of the topics discussed in this video will apply to the casual side of Apex Legends, it is not the focus of this video. With that out of the way, let's get started. To grade Conduit's viability in competitive, let's first go over her kit. First, her passive ability, Savior's Speed, which gives her a speed boost when moving towards distant teammates. Anytime she's looking at a far teammate for longer than 3 seconds, she gains a 30% speed boost as long as she continues to look towards them. The next ability to showcase is her ultimate, Energy Barricade. Conduit shoots out 7 shield jammers from her back in a horizontal line in front of her. After 5 seconds of priming, these shield jammers will activate and create a 10-meter sphere around each one, causing enemies within their radius to be slowed by 15% and take 10 damage per second. And finally, her tactical, Radiant Transfer. Conduit targets an ally and grants them and herself temporary shields to fill in any damage their current shields have taken. These shields last for 30 seconds until they begin to decay. Damage will delay any shield generation, but will not prevent it. Overall, her entire kit sets up Conduit to be a perfect support legend, capable of covering damage for teammates and controlling large sections of the map to put her team in the best position possible. But does that kit work alongside the playstyles seen in competitive? Historically, support legends have had a mixed presence in competitive metas. Gibraltar has been the foundation of a meta in the past, being the anchoring presence in both the Octane Bloodhound meta as well as the early Valkyrie meta. Newcastle has never defined a meta, but has had niche support and success in various metas with zone-heavy comps. The only other support legend that has found success is Loba, who covers a team's weak loot with her black market in niche situations. The other 2 support legends, Mirage and Lifeline, have never seen themselves become a part of the competitive meta. Mirage has never been considered because he's Mirage. Lifeline, however, is the interesting one to cover. Despite having direct healing to work with and a powerful passive revive, Lifeline has never been considered viable in competitive. And in the case of Conduit, the most similar character to her kit is Lifeline. So does that mean Conduit isn't competitively viable? Today, let's make the case for why Conduit does not suffer from the same faults as her fellow healer, and show why I believe Conduit is competitively viable. In my video, The Art of the Teamfight, I discussed the topic of the neutral, a state in a teamfight where teams work to gain the advantage over each other. One of the ways teams will create an advantage is by dealing damage to the opposing team. Having a health advantage over your opponent is a surefire way to start a teamfight, and both Conduit and Lifeline both have a role to play in this situation. If a teammate takes damage and the enemy is looking to press the advantage, both Lifeline and Conduit have the opportunity to take away that advantage quickly with their tactical ability. But between them, Conduit is the better option in this scenario. Lifeline's healing drone is a stationary device that heals anyone in its radius, but only heals health, not shields. On top of that, the drone stays in one place, meaning that you have to stay where the drone is to heal with it. If your teammate only has a broken shield when the enemy pushes, the drone is useless, and shields are what always go down first in a fight. Conduit, on the other hand, targets an ally directly and heals their shields, directly covering the first damage that an ally takes. On top of that, her shields aren't stationary, meaning an ally can take the shield health and immediately engage the enemy after the shields build up. Conduit's abilities take on an active role in a fight, whereas Lifeline's take on a passive role. The only active role Lifeline has is her combat revive, but if you're already at a point where you need to revive your allies, you are more likely than not going to lose anyways in a comp lobby. But for Conduit herself, this tactical is incredibly useful in fights. Being able to cover entry damage taken can help aggressive edge teams on the push, or teams on the back foot that need a quick recovery. It has both a powerful upside and versatile use in a variety of situations, all without even mentioning her ultimate. The energy barricade that Conduit produces covers a large area when shot out, and, fun fact, each jammer has physics that bounces off walls and other surfaces, so her coverage becomes even more oppressive in tighter spaces where her jammers land close together. Try entering a building that has a Conduit ult inside of it. You will regret it. It's been shown universally that legends with area controlling abilities will often have a spot in competitive play. And while her ultimate doesn't offer the same amount of safety that a Catalyst Wall or Watson Pylon may offer, its versatility is without question. So do I believe Conduit is competitively viable? Yes, absolutely. Everything about her tactical and ultimate has multiple use factors and powerful upsides when used correctly, and those upsides can definitely help a competitive team looking for the win. But the title of this video isn't "Is Conduit competitively viable?" The title is "Will Conduit shake up the meta?" That is a very different question from comp viability, and leaves me with one last question to find the answer. Will Conduit become the meta? To become the meta, a legend has to be near universally useful for any team that is looking to play her, with uses across the playstyle shared between pro teams and players. Legends like this become the defining characters for that meta's lifespan. A legend has to have such incredible upsides to their kit that you would be a fool not to use them. But does Conduit fit this category? Well, there is one part of her kit that I have neglected to talk about so far. Her passive, Savior's Speed. Out of any ability on Conduit's kit, this one is by far the weakest. The utility to quickly get to teammates is useful, sure, but how often will a competitive team be separated for it to matter? Playing more separated in the early game means you can get use out of this passive, but as the rings close and the space gets tighter and tighter, will you ever really see a Conduit taking advantage of this? Compare this passive to Bangalore's passive, Double Time, which grants her a speed boost for 2 seconds when shot at. The speed boost is short, yes, but it activates when you are shot at. More often than not, having a sudden speed boost when someone is shooting at you can help a lot in getting to cover or avoiding further damage. So whenever Double Time is in use, Bangalore can take advantage of it. Can you say the same for Conduit? This same question of use factor can be shared across her entire kit, actually. Her tactical is strong and can win a fight in the right situations, but will it be consistent enough for it to matter? Remember that taking damage delays the shield healing that the tactical gives. So if you are already being dived upon, her tactical isn't going to suddenly save you. And the same goes for her ultimate. It covers a huge area and is incredibly oppressive to be in, but the jammers themselves can be destroyed, and destroying one jammer will often create a large enough pocket for a team to sit in or pass through. Unlike Catalyst, where there is no way to avoid the downsides of her wall if you try to pass through it. Will Conduit become the meta? I don't think so. While her kit does have great use, not every situation needs a Conduit to cover it. She is great in certain situations, but has limited use in others. Overall, Conduit is a solid legend, and I see her becoming a casual game staple with her upsides in fights. I also see her having a place in competitive, with certain teams utilizing her kit to great effect. But to answer the final question, will Conduit shake up the meta? I don't know. As of the making of this video, Conduit is being tried out and utilized by a variety of different teams across the competitive scene. But with 2 months to go before ALGS Year 4, there's plenty of time for teams to decide if Conduit is here to stay. For now, however, we watch and wait to see if our new Capatid finds her place among pro teams. What do you think will happen with Conduit? Will she change how competitive Apex is played? Will she find a spot in the niche? Or will she be out of the scene soon enough? Give me your thoughts and start a discussion in the comments. Thank you for watching. This was a different style of video for me as I try out new ideas and faster to make videos. Let me know what you think of it. Thank you to my supporters here on YouTube, Blue Kalu and Colin Hansen. Their support helps make videos like this possible. If you like what I do and want to see more of it, you can become a supporter here on YouTube as well and be recognized at the end of these videos. As always, if you have any ideas on what I should break down next in Comp Apex, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, this has been MooreOver. Have a lovely day.